All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Today, our topic is about beating women in Islam. Some of you send me videos about women explaining how Islam put rules for beating women, and those, I notice always as a person who grew up in the Middle East and speak Arabic, that those who speak in Arabic are different from those who speak in English. In other way, what they say in English is not the same what they say in Arabic. And that's because they are trying to present Islam in a different way to the Western, who don't accept beating women anyway. So they try to explain it in a way to make it more acceptable, but we knew that what they say to us in English far away from what Islam is teaching in the same verse they are reading from in Arabic. Now, I'm not going to play any video of any Muslim because we don't want to be flagged for copyright, because this is what the Muslims do in order to stop you from exposing their cult. So we will go and see some articles online. There's tons of articles about Muslims trying to defend beating women. This is an official Islamic website. To be honest, a person sending a question. To be honest, I was really astonished to read how do you answer the questions cleverly. I really want to know more about Islam, but every time I know something new, I get suspicious about it bravely, and I would like to know if it is correct that the Quran permits a man to, I think you want to say, to hit his wife or to beat his wife. If that is true, how could you explain that? Now remember, those answers are meant, they are meant to make it fit with the mentality and the reception of those who live in the West. If we go on the same website in Arabic, we will find different answer for the same topic. However, we are going to deal with the answer which is coming to make you accept it, which means this is the fake answer. But even the fake answer will turn ugly, and I will show you how. I did not even read this page yet. I'm just searching random search. We are very happy that you are reading our site and are keen to learn about Islam. We ask Allah to guide you, but the Quran says Allah guide not those who he misguide them. Anyway, there is nothing in the Quran suggest that the man allowed to bite his wife. What? Did the guy ask him about biting? Hold on, let's go back. Is it correct that a man Quran permits a man to his wife? What? It doesn't say anything about biting. I don't know, this guy, Muslims, the stupidity is, I don't know. I don't see anywhere in the question the guy asking about women biting. Anyway, bite? Does it say bite? I mean, where? Okay. To bit, isn't it? This is bite or bit? Hold on. Maybe I am the one who getting the wrong understanding. I thought this is bite. Yeah, this is bite. We are talking about biting. I thought maybe like I don't know, it have different meaning, maybe beating. No, this is biting. So we are in the right track. Anyway, the Quran enjoins good treatment of one's wife. She is to be honored and treated kindly, even when she is no longer feel love in one's heart toward her. Allah inspiration of the meaning, and live with them honorably. If you dislike them, it may be that you dislike a thing, and Allah bring thought it's a great deal for good. Okay. chapter 4 verse number 19. So now he start quoting for him verses speaking about, you know, like how, you know, marrying women and how to be you take care of your wife, and they women have rights over their husbands. And what is the right? As regard living expenses. I mean, people who have cats, they feed them. I mean, I mean, look at the rights. All right, similar similar to those of their husbands over them. So the guy, he had many wives, and now the Quran telling you you should spend your money on her, or you sleep with her, you take off her panty, and now you don't want to sleep with her. Oh, okay. So you need the Quran to teach you that. Why the Arab before Islam, they don't spend their money in their wives and their family? Let us continue. What about Muhammad? He used to work for Khadija, which means she spent her money on him. Anyway, she wasn't old looking for a younger man, and she spent her money on him. To what is reasonable? Okay, but men have a degree of responsibility. It doesn't say that over them. The men have degree over them. All right, what else? Okay, this verse indicate that men has additional rights. Okay, what is the right? Is to protect them, to be maintainers. Okay. Now until now he did not go to the verses about fear, you know, I mean about beating women. You know, do I need to make a verse to teach a man that he is the one who should take care of his family? I mean, people who they are Hindus, they do that. People who they are Buddhists, they do that. People who they are atheists, they do that. I mean, it's you know, your wife, the wife should take care of her husband, and the husband take care of his wife. I mean, what the man? But why you are saying the men have extra rights? Extra rights of what? The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, enjoined kind of treatment and honoring one wives, and he described the best people as those who are best to their wives. So the best of Muslims is those who they are best to their wives. But isn't it the same guy who said beat them? So how you can be the best to your wife? How the same guy who said the best of you is the one who is good to his wife, and then he says beat them? So the good to his wife is the one who spend money, you know, he don't leave them hungry, the one who go attack the Christians and the Jews and get some money from there, and he feed the wife, but still you beat the wife. The best of you are those who are best to their wives. I am the best of you to my wives. Was Muhammad really the best of his to his wives? Absolutely, this is false. You see, we know in the Quran that the Muslim women, sorry, the wives of Muhammad, they have a strike against him. Things was going crazy, even though he is the prophet and nobody dared to go against him, but they did have a very hard time with this man, to the point Allah, he need to make a verses in the Quran against the wives of Muhammad. If Muhammad was good to his wives, they will not reach the point that the Quran consider them as kuffar, and which mean almost they will get killed. In chapter 66 verse number 4, and actually, you know, this chapter is very funny, and it's showing us a lot about the personal life of Muhammad. The wives of Muhammad, they became two parties, and both of them, they all complain about the filth of Muhammad. If you go to the same chapter, go to verse number 1, you will see they got Muhammad busted sleeping with women in their beds, in their bedrooms. So Muhammad, he made a promise, and he gave them a promise, I will never do that again. And then after that, he got horny again to the same women he used to sleep with. So he made a verse says, Allah told me, why you are forbidden what Allah made lawful for you? The Muslim, in their interpretation, some of them, they try to cover this, the ass of Muhammad. So they say, oh, this is about the prophet, he eat honey, and the wives get upset because he eat honey. I mean, have you ever heard of a prophet of God? his God need to be involved over eating honey, and then the wife's almost going to be divorced because he ate honey, and the wives they have a strike against him because he have honey. What a big fat liars. However, in the same Islamic books, they speak about Muhammad. He was busted sleeping with women in the beds of the wives, which usually rejected by all women unless she don't care. Muhammad, he sleep with women anyway, but usually maybe he do it in the saddle, in the behind the room, like in the different room or something, but not in the beds of the wives. Look like this guy, he don't care no more, and he have no dignity, and he start using the beds of his wives to have sex with other women who they are not even wives, which mean they are just slaves. So here we will see Muhammad, he made a promise he will never do it again. Then he felt sorry for doing that because he missed those slaves who they are very beautiful. So he made a verse saying, why Allah said to me, why you are forbidding to yourself what Allah made lawful for you? And then the women, they could not take this anymore, and the wives of Muhammad, they could not take it no more too. They could not take it no more because this guy is a cheater, because he's a scumbag, because he's a filthy man. He have a lot of wives already, and he wants still more, so they cannot take it no more. And always Muhammad, in order to silence any one of his enemies, he used the authority of his God in order to stop the argument. If Allah said, who dare to say no? That's it. So he made verses, which was an advice of Umar ibn Khattab. Actually, the one who made this verse is Umar ibn Khattab. You can see the hadith. So Umar, he said to him, I said to them, to the wives, be aware, if you don't stop doing this, Allah, he might divorce you and exchange you with better women. All right, he will send you better women, better than you, and he will divorce you. And as you see here in verse number 5, Allah, he made a verse, supposedly Allah is talking, not Muhammad. As we said, it's coming from Umar, that you have to repent. The wives of Muhammad suddenly became a bunch of whores. Why? All of that because they cannot take the behavior of Muhammad the madman. So Allah is sending to them special verses saying you have to repent. It's a threat, actually. Repent to him. Your heart indeed are indeed so inclined, but ye back up each other against him. Against him who? Muhammad. The wives, they are backing up all of them against Muhammad. So how Muhammad is the best of the man? Have you ever heard of all the women gathering together and they are against the husband, all of them? I mean, how bad he is. Not even one of them is taking his side. They are backing up each other. Why? Is that because of the good of Muhammad, or because he is extremely filthy and he made all the women angry from him? And then he says you have to repent, and if you decide to back up each other against him, truly Allah is his protector. Look, right away he involved Allah as a protector. From what? From a family problem. It's a family problem. It's a private problem. The Muslim, they say to us, Muhammad was a great leader. Muhammad was an amazing leader. Muhammad could not even lead his house. This man, anytime he have a problem, in order to silence anyone, right away he says God said. But we know that this is not God said. Especially the Muslim, they say to us, even the Quran says that the journey of the angel to go up and down is 2,000 years, 1,000 years for each trip, which means to go up is 1,000 years, to come down is 1,000 years. So Jibreel is in earth, and now the wife and Muhammad, they are fighting. Is this fight is written in the preserved Quran in the heaven? So now Muhammad, he make a threat to his wives. forcing them to repent, as he claimed that they need to repent. But the fact he is the one need to repent, for he is the filthy. It's not the women is going around sleeping with people. No, it is him sleeping around. So he said that truly Allah is his protector. And not enough. You see, the fight is bigger than what you can imagine. Allah is not enough to protect Muhammad from two women. You see, this is the best man for his wives, but yet he needed Allah to protect him from the two wives. So you can imagine how ugly he is and how much he is in fear of what's going on. You see, when a man he come to such a statement, a claim to be a prophet, and then he says God, he sent a verse says that Allah is my protector from who? From two women or three or four, and they are like 5 foot tall, weak women, and Muhammad supposedly is the hero, and yet he need a God protection, and he need Jibreel protection, and he need every righteous Muslim protection, and he need furthermore every angel in the galaxy's protection. From who? From a fight with his wives. So how bad this fight was. And then look how filthy he is. He don't stop there. He make another verse saying it may be if he divorce you all. Like, what, all? I mean, what kind of a decision this decision is? Divorce you all? And that Allah will give him an exchange concert. That's amazing. So I have a bunch of wives at home, 13, 14, 15, 16, nobody knows how many. And then if I have a fight with them because I'm cheating around, sleeping around, scumbag, then I say to them, hold on, Allah is my protector, and the angels and every righteous Muslim. Do you know how big my army is? And every angel in the galaxies, in the world. And the top of that, you know what? Allah, he might divorce you and replace you. And look here, they use the word exchange. Muhammad in his time, the Muslims, they used to exchange wives. And that even a practice used to happen before Islam. He didn't say he will make you marry new wives. No, he said he will exchange you with concert. Muhammad, he don't want to divorce only, he want an exchange. And the exchange will be what? Who submit, who are subdued. Who? To who? To Muhammad. Who believes? Suddenly the wives of Muhammad, they are kuffar, they don't believe. Suddenly they are not believers. Who are devoted? Suddenly Aisha is a whore and she is not devoted and she is not a believer, and all the other wives who turn to Allah to repent, who worship him in humility. So that's mean those wives, they don't worship Allah, they are a bunch of whores, and the problem is bigger than you can imagine. And then Muhammad, he is saying after all of this that he is the best to his wives. I mean, can you tell? Did Muhammad fix the problem with his wives? No. Did he discuss, let us see how we can fix it? No. He make a threat, and the threat is very clear. I'm going to throw you out like a piece of garbage, all of you. So how the Muslim, they post on their website saying that Muhammad, he said he is the best of mankind to his wives. How best he was. How best Muhammad was when he was starting marrying more and more and more wives. Is that how you can be best to your wife? A woman, she marry you, second day you bring a new woman, the day after you bring another woman, the day after you bring another woman. Then you make a chapter in the Quran says any Muslim woman, she can give me her vagina. I mean, how best you are. Obviously, Muhammad, he was not considering them as women as much he considered them as a bunch of goats. They are goats, and all what he wanted from them is their milk and their vagina. Otherwise, I don't see anywhere, anyhow, that Muhammad he considered those women as women. So the Muslims, when they say to us that really Islam, you know, speak of Muhammad was the best of his wives, you know, somebody is lying here, right? And it's so clear. If you have a problem with your wife, you don't say to her, Allah is my protector and Allah will replace all of you. Like, what happened? Have you ever heard a group divorce before? Divorce you all, which mean all of them, they have the same problem with him. And then the Muslims in their videos, they start explaining how to beat the wife lightly. They try to make it look nicer. They say, well, the Prophet, yes, the Quran says you can beat them, but you beat them lightly. So let us go to that. Let us see. Here we go. Now, as those women who are and whose part you see ill conduct, admonish them. And here they add the word first, but the Quran doesn't say first, doesn't say next. It's a lie. Refuse to share their beds. That's right. It doesn't say refuse to share their beds. It says وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ, which means you jail them in their rooms. What refuse their beds? Since when it says that? If a woman, look, then he explained, if a woman rebels against her husband and disobey his commands, why, she is a soldier? What do you mean this, his commands? Then he should follow this method of admonishing her, forsaking her in bed, and hitting her. Now, hitting is subject to conditions that it should not be harsh or cause injury. Thank you very much. Guys, Islam is a very, very nice religion who treat women with a lot of respect. You know, you see all this lecturer in the beginning, Islam treat women very nice. Islam says treat your wife very nice. The Prophet, he says the best of you is the one who treat his wife nice. And now they are teaching us at the end that you can beat your wife, but be sure you don't cause injury. I mean, do you see how light the beating is? Don't cause injury. And look what it says here. Look how funny it is. This is mean that it should not cause pain. So it caused what? The beating caused what exactly? I want to know what this beating, you know, guys, what that mean? Should not cause pain. Have you ever heard of a stupidity like this when they lie? How you want to beat the wife and the limit is not to cause injury, and then you say you should not cause pain? Who is the stupid here? I never saw a Muslim he have any kind of intelligence. I saw the video of Mufti Menk. Mufti Menk, he said, you cannot beat her in the eye, you cannot beat her, etc. You cannot beat her, etc. You cannot beat her, you know, and you have to be reasonable when you beat her. Okay, but you are beating her. Atta said, I said to Ibn Abbas, what kind of hitting that is not harsh? He said, hitting with siwak and the like. Look what he says here. Siwak is a small stick of a twig used for cleaning the teeth. Are you sure? I mean, look how big scammers they are. The siwak he is talking about is not even 1 inch tall, not even 1 inch, not even 2 inch. Small tiny piece of wood. What's siwak? What's siwak? The siwak is a real piece of wood, which is a root of a tree. Actually, you know what? Let me show it to you in the screen. Hold on. Let me search in Google and show you how it is the real siwak, which is al-miswak. A bunch of liars. All right. In front of us, this is the tree where they get the miswak from. They dig in the ground, you know, they dig in the ground and they get the long leaves. You see those leaves? Those, sorry, the roots. It's a root. It's very flexible roots. And then they cut them pieces and they sell them for the Muslims. Let us see. I'm trying to find the picture. Where is the picture? This is the website. It's called islamiyat.d1g, whatever it's called. All right. So you see, they dig in the ground. They dig in the ground, and then they get this long roots, and then they cut them pieces because now everybody want to buy them to do what the Prophet used to do. But they are not small pieces. They are long roots. They cut them pieces. You see, this is now the root after it's cut off pieces. So he is saying to you, you beat your wife with this. Do you see how big the newspaper is? This is a newspaper. This is a newspaper. And this is after they cut it pieces. It is like a long flexible belt. You know how tree roots, right? They are long. They are not pieces exist like this. You see it in the picture. They cut them pieces and then they cut them smaller pieces, as you see in the left side, and then they sell them out. So he's trying to fool us and says this is how you beat your wife with, which is, you know, like small tiny piece of wood. But the fact, those are really long, and they can go to 3-4 meters. And they cut them pieces when they dig in the ground. They don't follow the root like you keep following. They just cut and take on the side, cut and take on the side, because later is going to cut it pieces anyway. So they lie to us and say you beat her by the miswak, and the miswak is just a little tiny thing. This is a lie. This is not true. Don't ever believe a Muslim is telling you anything about Islam. You see here how they dig the in the sand to find the roots. You see it? They dig in the sand. It's a desert. Here you will see in this picture how they cut them pieces after that. But here you will see the roots coming out. Let us show you the roots is coming out of the ground because it's a desert. This is the miswak. This is the miswak tree, and those roots are appearing on the top of the sand. But they want to lie to us and say it's the small tiny piece of wood. You see here they cut them pieces small and they sell them for very expensive price. Every stupid idiot coming from Pakistan, India, etc., Muslim to do Hajj, he buy those because he think that this is the best way to be a Muslim, to do what the Prophet do. You see, the Arab, they use the miswak because this is a desert. Remember, they don't have too much options of wood, so they use the miswak to beat their camel with it. And during the time they are taking care of their cattle, this piece of wood, they put it in their mouth and they chew the end of it to clean their mouth with it. And this is what Muhammad used to do. That's the whole story behind the miswak. And he was doing what the Arab was doing anyway. But amazingly, they lie to you and they say the miswak is a small tiny piece of wood, when it is a very flexible roots of tree, and those trees can grow big, and always they cut them pieces and they give them out for sale. As an example, this picture in front of you, you see how thick the root is, and you know how flexible the root. You can go and grab any root from any tree and you will see what I'm talking about. So beating the wife with the miswak is not what they say it is, something easy. And remember, the point of this beating is what? This woman, she is not obeying you, so you beat her to obey you. So if the beating is not painful, she will not obey you anyway. I mean, what that will beating will do? Correct? Why the women we should beat them according to Islam if they are you feel that they have maybe they will not obey you? Because you want to force them to obey you. Okay, if the beating is nothing, so what this beating will do? You see, guys, the logic, how stupid it is, how we can get them busted. If the beating will do nothing anyway, so why we need to beat them? If the beating is so light and we will beat them with a small stick, so what the point of the beating? Don't ever believe a Muslim explaining Islam to you. The beating reason for it is to beat them, to force them to obey you, not to make them tickle and laugh. If you beat her with the miswak, the toothbrush, she will laugh. She will laugh at you and at your religion. And she might even get excited and take you to bed. You are tickling her, you are not beating her. But the Quran says beat them. Now how we can get the Abdul more busted? We know we have a hadith in the Sunnah, and this is why the verse in the Quran came down about a man that beat his wife until he made her skin greener, greener than her clothes. This is how you can find it in English if you want. Just type greener than in the sunnah.com, you will find it. This is a woman, she came to Muhammad complaining that her husband did beat her until her skin became greener than her clothes. Read the whole story, you will see Muhammad never said to the man why you did beat your wife and why you made her skin greener. The fact, Muhammad, he gave him the Quran, chapter 4, verse number 34, as a response to this, saying to him, you beat her. Not only he said to him you can beat her, he take his side with him, and he forced the husband, or sorry, he forced the women to take off her clothes and to be raped by this man. Now somebody will say to me, she is his wife anyway. My friend, rape is rape, if she is your wife or not. If the woman, she don't want you to sleep with her and you force her to sleep with you, this is a rape. So in the story here, you will see the woman, she came to Muhammad, she was wearing a green veil, and she complained to Aisha of her husband and showed her a green spot on her skin. Now remember, this guy is one of the companions of the Muhammad anyway, and he is a good Muslim, and he caused by beating the wife green spots over her body. It says here, to explain why Aisha, she is siding with the women, it was the habit of the ladies to support each other, not because the guy is a scumbag. No, it is the habit of the ladies to support each other. Hello. So when Allah Messenger came, Aisha said to him, look, I have not seen any women suffering as much as a believing women. Can you explain to me why Aisha, she said Muslim women are the most to suffer? Which means in her time there's a Jewish woman, there's a Christian women, there's pagan women, and they are not suffering as much as a Muslim women. Why? I have not seen any women suffering as much as a believing women. In the time of Muhammad, Aisha, she is witnessing that the most suffering women are the believing women. Or maybe you Muslim, you want to say to us that Aisha, she was lying, that Muslim women, they were happy and they are not suffering, and she is a big fat liar. Say it, I want to hear it. And then she continues saying, look, her skin is greener than her clothes. Then Abdurrahman, he heard that his wife, she went to Muhammad, so he rushed there and he explained to Muhammad. He said, I done nothing wrong to her, you know. And she said, first, look, hold on. When Abdurrahman heard his wife, she had gone to the Prophet, he came with his 2 sons from another wife. She said, look how many wives he have. By Allah, I have done no wrong to him, the women, the wife, but he is impotent and he is as useless to me like this. So the wife, she's claiming that the husband, he cannot have sex. All right. What a scam. Anyway, then Abdurrahman, the husband, he said, she has told a lie and very strong, and I can satisfy her, but she is disobedient and want to go back to Raf'a. Now we know what's happening. This woman, she was married to a husband before this man, and the husband, he's accusing her that you are trying to get back to your husband, right? Obviously he noticed she don't like him and she is trying to get divorced. What Muhammad he did, now Muhammad he learned, listen, Muhammad he learned that she was beaten until her skin was green. Muhammad he learned that she ran away to him. Muhammad he learned that the husband accusing her that she want to go back to the old husband. What Muhammad did after all what he learned, he took the side of the husband and he said to her, listen, if your intention, if that is your intention, which means to go back to your old husband, you better know it is unlawful for you to marry Rafa unless Abdurrahman had sexual intercourse with you. Look at this scumbag. The women, she don't want the guy. Muhammad is taking the side of the other guy and saying to her, you have to. He is forcing her to take off her panty, open her legs, so this man, he can have sex with her. And he never said a word about why you did beat his wife. Did you see Muhammad saying why you did beat your wife and made her skin greener than your clothes? No. He took the side of the man 100%. So the Muslim, when they lie to us about light beating, it is nothing but a big fat lie. Additional to that, let us say the beating was so light, for the sake of argument, just to go with the lies of the Muslims, which is absolutely false. I mean, any of you accept somebody to beat him as it's an insult. It's an insult, my friend. It doesn't matter how harsh it is. It is an insult. She is an adult. She is a human being. She is a woman. Oh, I forgot. Muslim men, they marry children too. It doesn't matter really how hard it is. What about the emotion of this woman and the humiliation you are doing to her by beating her? What if you as a Muslim man, if Allah say the verse and the opposite, the women, they can beat their husband, what you would do? You will say, no way, A'udhu billah, I will not let her do that. I will kill her if she try to touch me. How come it's okay to beat the women, humiliate the women, and it's okay for you, but it's not okay if she do it to you? You can go right now in YouTube and you can search for beating women, and you will find tons of videos of Muslims beating their wives like garbage. I mean, like you see, Muslims, let me tell you something. In America, dogs have more rights than your wives in Islam. Islamic claim that Muslim women she get her right. This is a big fat lie. Muslim women before Islam she was a businesswoman and the proof right in front of your eyes. You Muslim claim that Muhammad was working for Khadija and that was before Islam. You Muslims claim that Khadija she was a Christian and she was the owner of a business and Muhammad he got order from her and that because before Islam. And now after Islam what Khadija and what Muslim women they become? They became a women to be beaten as if they are goats. So the beating was harsh. The women's skin get greener, and you will see some Arabic video that explain to you how you should beat your wife. You should not leave marks, especially if you live in the West. Actually, there's a guy he made a book in Spain. You know, uh, the book is How to Beat Your Wife. How to beat uh, your wife. Let me find the book. I'm serious. There's a book about that. Books. Here we go. Looking for. I'm trying to find in Spain. This was in Spain. So this guy, what he did, uh, he advised Muslim men, uh, if you want to beat your wife, put like a board under her panty, you know, or something. So you beat her, you hurt her, but she will not have marks in her skin. So if she called the police, she have no proof. Uh, all right, here we go. I found it. This is from Washington, New York Times, but I found it the first time I saw it. It was in the BBC. Spain sentenced an imam for book offering advice on wife beating. A Muslim spiritual leader who wrote a book telling Muslims men how to beat their wives would was sentenced to 15 months in prison for encouraging violence against women. A court in Barcelona announced Wednesday. No. You see, they are making books about it, how to beat her, and the whole point of the book is how to avoid going to jail. The funny, he is the one who went to jail. So what do? How you beat her? You put something underneath. Like you order her to wear like extra clothes, and then you beat her with your belt. This way there's no marks will be in the skin, but she will hurt badly. Look how they lie to us, and they say Islam does not encourage that. Islam does not teach about beating women heavily. Islam says don't leave injury. I mean, injury, you want to do injury too? The women, she have a green skin, and yet they are saying to us from beating, and yet they are saying to us Islam do not approve hurting the women or causing pain. Where you get this from? What is the point of this beating if there is no pain? Isn't it to make her obey you? And this is not, this is actually, this is terrorism, because how you made somebody obey you? By using violence. And this is what terrorism is about. We scare the people, we force them to do things. It is terrorism. And the most important thing, when a stupid idiot Muslim try to tell us that we beat women lightly, he just admitted that Islam considered the women not equal to a human being, because it doesn't matter if you beat her lightly or you beat her heavily. That is a clear indication that the Quran and Islam and Muhammad and the Muslim who defend beating women don't consider women as equal human being, not to man. They are not even a human being. I can't say they are equal to man. No, they are not going to be equal to the man in Islam, but they are not even considered as a human. This is why you can have many of them. This is why you can throw them and you can dump them anytime you want. It's just to pay them some money. You know, they are like animals, goats. You wanna have sex, you hire this goat, you sleep with her, and then you divorce her and you get her some money, and she inherit nothing of you. She don't take your property or anything. No, she don't. There's a contract. In the contract, if it says in the case of divorce, she will get 1,000 riyal. I know a Muslim guy. His mother, she was married to his father for almost 40 years, or maybe more. She's an old woman, and he's an old man. The guy, he divorced her and he married brand new bride, young. And now the wife, he have to pay her what is written in the contract. In the contract, I don't know, I don't remember what is the number, but we were laughing at that time, which is a sad story to laugh at. I think it was like saying, she would get like 500 riyal or something. When he married her, the 500 riyal was like as you are saying, I will give you like $100,000. But when he divorced her after 40 years, the riyals you are talking about, they will not buy her a TV. So now she is homeless. He give her the money, throw it in her face, he dump her in the street, and that's it. This is her rights. This is the rights of a Muslim woman. She can take with her her furniture, her clothes, which is going to be used after using it for 40 years. That is the right of a Muslim woman. That Muslims, they speak too much about it. So when they say to us in Islam, wife beating is allowed, but it's lightly, this is a lie, and we prove it to you. Muhammad himself was aggressive with his wives. Actually, there's a story even how Abu Bakr did beat Aisha in front of Muhammad. For Aisha, she was upset. For Muhammad, the scumbag, he keeps saying, making verses about more women to sleep with him. Yeah, I say the translation of Osama Dakdok. Osama Dakdok is my friend, and we met many times, and we did some work together, on the radio station. His translation is good, but I believe every translation have some like there's some I don't agree with, but at least you have a decent, honest translation. You see, there's a huge difference between somebody, he make a translation according to his knowledge, he do his best, and a Muslim, he do translation and the purpose is to lie to you. Don't ever trust a Muslim translation. All right. Do we have any Muslim here would like to call me? Any Muslim have a response for what we said? Feel free. You can call me live. You see, this is a Christian Prince. This is not the Deen show where you Muslims you say call us if you have a question, but then there's nobody to go through the phone because you have no phone to call. We call the phone, and in the reception they will not let you go. It's a fake show. The guy in the Deen show, he have a cell phone and he hold the phone. Yeah, okay, but nobody's talking. It's a lie. They make their own questions before the program. They send emails to themselves. They print it in front of them, but there's no emails. And they make a program, and the questions and the answer is made by them. But when we try to call, you can't get in. We are not the Deen Show, and we are not fake. If you are a brave Muslim and you have answer, give me a call right now. My Skype is on. It doesn't cost you money. It's for free. Any Muslim have the courage and the knowledge to tell me how you accept that your mother, she can be beaten by a man, even if he is your husband, her husband. Imagine your mother, she got divorced from your father, huh? And then she marry a new husband, and then she call you crying saying my husband is beating me. What you will do? I mean, are you proud? You will say to her, Allah, he said it's okay. What do you think? You think women, they are just a rag, you know, you walk in it, you sit on it, you spit on it. And when you say, when the Muslim, they say to us it's a light beating, let us say it is light as a spit. Do you accept somebody to spit at you? Isn't it beating as an insult anyway? Humiliation? Where is your dignity, Muslims? When a Muslim, he says to us, we protect our women. You don't protect your women. You Muslim consider women as your whore. She is, excuse my language, she is your bitch. You sleep with her, you abuse her, you beat her, and you feed her. And this is exactly what people do with their dogs if they are savage. In America, if you beat your dog, you go to jail. So a dog in America, she is a lot more spoiled from a Muslim woman. Nobody dare to beat her, and you have to feed her. If you don't feed the dog in America, you go to jail. If you beat the dog, you go to jail. If you leave your dog out of in the cold, huh, your neighbor will report you and the police will arrest you. Yes, Aaron. Do we have any Muslim here? He have the courage and the knowledge. So put in your consideration that the second the Muslims, they admit that yes, we beat, and they cannot deny that because the Quran says that clearly. They admit that women is allowed to be humiliated. They admit that women, they have no respect. And about beating them lightly or beating them strongly, it doesn't matter anymore really. But the fact, as we see in front of you, the wife, she got beaten by her husband until he made her skin greener than her clothes. And Muhammad did not take any action against the man who did beat his wife until her skin became greener from beating. He did not even say to him any word about it. In the top of that, he gave him a verse saying that Allah, he gave it to him, says men are the maintainers of women. So if you feel that your wife is going to be disobedient, beat her. And the funny, when they say to you that this is the last solution, my friend, the last solution. I mean, who are you? Last solution or first solution? Who are you to beat a woman? What do you mean last solution? Last solution for what? She didn't agree with you, so you want to force her by violence to agree with you and to be obedient. You see, the purpose, the whole story is how we can make her obedient. You see, marriage is an agreement between a man and a woman. If the woman, she agreed to obey you, okay, good for her, good for you. But you don't force your wife to obey you. And you don't tell me that God told me I can discourage them if I fear they are disobedient, or they will be. But because Islam is savage, Even, you know, I like Islam, it take us, I don't want to say take us 1400 years ago. No, Islam take us 14 million year ago. Islam is a savagery ethic. They claim that they have ethic. This is not an ethical behavior. This is a disgusting way at looking at the women down. Even the Quran says clearly that the woman, she is not equal to the man to go to the court. Why? Because Muhammad explained, and he said that women, one woman is equal to two men if they are allowed to witness, and the women only allowed to witness in the court if the case is about borrowing money or delivery of a child, because this is, nobody knows except women. I mean, who is going to be inside the room? Let us say a woman, she delivered a baby and the baby was dead. So a woman who was there, she can witness for that he is born dead. That's it. She cannot be witness for any capital punishment. She cannot be witness for theft. She cannot be witness for adultery. She cannot be witness for anything except borrowing money or things have to do with women, like as we said, women delivery in a private room where the man is not allowed to be in, or a woman witnessing that she have a 3 period, which mean nothing. And Muhammad explained why, and this is why the Muslim, they look at the women down. He said clearly, Muslim women, they have deficiency in their brain. Look what Muhammad he said. All the teaching of Islam is about women, they have defect. They have a defect. Do you see it? Who is talking? Muhammad. Women, they have a defect. Women is the same as a product who is made but have a defect. And what is their defect? They have a defect in intelligence. They have a defect in morality. They have a defect in loyalty. They have defect of being a human. They are not fully human. And Muhammad, he clearly said that most people who will go to hell are women. And then you wonder why Muslims, they look at the women down. You see, when they asked Jesus about a woman who he divorced and married more than one person, they ask her, who is the one she will be with in heaven? Because the Jews, they have the same mentality of the Muslims. They think they will inherit the woman as if she is a property. Jesus, he said, he and she will be the same as angels in heaven. They will not get married. He and she equally. Nobody will inherit anyone. The man will not inherit her, and she will not inherit him. Both, they will be the same as angels. The Messiah, he made the women. In his time, it was a revolutionary to say so, because those savage people still, they want to think of the women who is going to own the women. This is why the Messiah, he said clearly that those who divorce their wives, why? Because the Jews, when the women, she get older, blah, blah, and he divorced her, the same as the Muslims. He dumped her. She got old. Why I want to stay with the old woman? Who want to stay with a woman, she is 50, if he can get someone, she is 18? He dumped her. He got a brand new wife. The same mentality. The Messiah, he fought the divorce. For people, they are abusing women by divorcing them. You take her as a young woman, beautiful woman, and you dump her when she is old and she is not as before. And you replace her by someone she can do belly dancing for you. This is the truth. No, no, the Jews until now they have the same mentality. Who said 2,000 years ago? The Orthodox Jews until now they have the same mentality. Go and see in YouTube a woman, she is not wearing the cover in her hair, they throw rocks at her. After 2,000 years of Jesus, they did not change. This is why the Messiah was a revolution in his time, and he is a revolution in our time. After 2,000 years after the Messiah, and we have the United Nations, and we have the Human Rights Department, I challenge them to find me something equal to what Jesus said. As an example, love your enemy. Human being, they will never reach that point. Love your enemy, bless those who curse you, pray for them. You will never reach that. So he was a revolutionary in everything, about the women, about punishment, about being aggressive, about being filthy, about being selfish, about being loving yourself, about not to curse others, about to forgive, about to pray for those who curse you, about to love them even those who they are your enemy. He is the revolution of mankind. And we cannot compare in any way, in any mean, between the teaching of the Messiah and the teaching of the filthy scumbag Muhammad. Women, they have a problem with their intelligence. Do you see it, Muslims? You have deficiency in your wisdom. I met women who they are very wise and a lot wiser than men. But this is the mentality Islam produce. So women, they are stupid. They have deficiency in their intelligence. Who said so? How you get this from? Where you get this from? There is a stupid man, there is a stupid women, there is, you know, there is a smart, there is dumb, everywhere. There is women, they are professors and they are teacher in universities and they are surgeon and they are amazing people, you know, and there is a man who is working in a grocery store, and nothing wrong with that. But where you get this from, that just because she is a woman she is stupid and she have deficiency? And look what he's saying, because of that and because they have a period too, they will go to hell because they have period. How stupid this religion is. If Allah is God and he is the one who made them have period, why they want to go to hell? Because they have a period. I mean, have you ever heard of a sin called having a period? You see, Islam is anti-human civil life. Forget about you being a Christian or being a Hindu or an atheist. I don't really care. I'm talking to who? I'm talking to you, a person who you have a brain. Do you want this in your society? Somebody says we can beat the women because supposedly this is how we make her obey us. And then don't be surprised then if somebody did beat your daughter when he married her. And don't be surprised then when somebody beat your mother. Because beating is going to go to any woman. Imagine if the Prime Minister of England, May, she called the police because her husband, he did beat her, and the police will say it's lawful for him to beat you. She is the Prime Minister of England, and yet because she is a woman in Islam, her husband, he can beat her. This is a religion. And the women beating lightly or harsh, as we showed you, it is harsh, not as they lie and they try to say to us. It is nothing but an insult for a human being. It is an insult for dignity. It's an insult that this person is not independent. You are treating him as if he is a follower, and this follower have no choice not to follow. This is why you are beating him, because he is a property or she is a property. You see, when this God, he gave me the right to beat you as a woman, that's mean I own you. And the purpose to beat you is to make you obey me. So you have to be subdued by violence. You like it, you don't. If you don't like it willingly, well, I'm going to beat you. And Allah in my side, and Allah is in my side, and Muhammad the scumbag in my side, and you are alone. That is Islam. So why in the world a woman she will marry a Muslim? You are marrying a Muslim hoping that he will not beat you? Well, if he did not beat you, that means he is not practicing his religion, or maybe because he live in the West. There's a movie, it's called Not Without My Daughter. I don't know if any of you saw it. A dumb American woman, she did marry an Iranian doctor. He's a doctor. He is a, doctor is a doctor. What we can say is educated, right? We cannot say he is an ignorant. He was very nice to her when she was in the state, and they were happy together, and then she went to Iran. And this is a true story. When they live in the West, they knew if he beat you, he will go to jail. He knew if he locked the door on you, he will go to jail. He knew if he mistreat you, he will be in trouble. But in his country, the story is different. And this is why you see me, if I heard that somebody says to me, I have a family Muslim, or I was married to a Muslim, or etc., I like to speak to those people to see why really they did that. I try to help them, because I know they will have kids who they are now Muslims, and they will have a problem, and it is not right. You are doing a wrong decision. Most of those who I spoke to, like people they call me in Skype or etc., you will see that they are having the same problem. Somebody, his son want to marry a Muslima. I am against marrying a Muslim man or a Muslim woman too, because then you will have a problem with your children's. As long as she is a Muslima, even if she claimed that she don't follow Islam, what is your guarantee that your children will not be affected by the cult of Islam? She take them vacation with her, they meet her family, they associate with them, and then suddenly you find that your kids, they turn to be Muslims, affected by their mother. Same when you marry a Muslim man, if we can call it marriage, they will turn to be Muslims. Don't you want to think about the future? Your country have millions of men. You could not find a man to marry except a Muslim. That's it. We are out of options. We have to be careful, my friend. This cult is dangerous. And there's many women, like the lucky one is the one who married a Muslim man, but he was not able to convert her. But there's many of them, just to make the husband happy, he keeps saying to her, you should convert, as Christianity is not good, blah 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 blah. And then after a few years you convert, if not after a few months. There's a stupid woman, she spoke to me before in Skype. She did marry a guy from Kuwait. All right, she asked me, I want to speak to you, I know you have a degree in Islamic law, right? I said, yeah. I said, I want to speak to you in private. I said, okay. She married an old guy in Kuwait, and she said to me clearly, I did marry him because he is filthy rich, otherwise the guy, he hardly can move. After I did marry him, a year or so after, she moved with him to Kuwait right away when he married, but after a year of marriage, something like that, he died. So she told me, now what I will inherit? I said, nothing. She said, what? I said, nothing. She said, what do you mean nothing? I said, nothing. You will inherit nothing. You are a Christian. Non-Muslim cannot inherit a Muslim. According to his country, is his money is in England or his money is in Kuwait? She said in Kuwait. I said okay. According to the Islamic law, you as a non-Muslim, you cannot inherit anything. They will give you like some let us say fees as long as you live there, from his money, fees just to live, like rent for your property or etc. But inheritance, you will have nothing. And even if you convert, you cannot take your money out of the country because you originate from non-Muslim country. A Muslim money should not be moved to different country. This is the Sharia law. So the stupid woman, she is I think maybe, I don't know, 27, 28, I forgot how old she is. She married this guy for the sake of his money, and she ended with nothing. And there's many that do that, especially after money. Not for sure, not all women they do that, but there's many women they do that after money, like the sister of Michael Jackson. Those are for sale. She married this guy for 2 years, and now she is divorcing him. She will get a couple of hundreds of millions of dollars. Why? Because his money is in USA, not all of it in the Middle East. But should we marry from non-Muslims? No. Even if you're an atheist, not necessarily a Christian. Because as you see, the Muslims, they have a poisoned mind. Women, they are stupid. Women, they have deficiency. Women, they have to be controlled. Women, they have to be obedience. And not only about women, about everything in life. There is people they marry for money. Muhammad himself, he married his first wife for money. Muhammad, he said a woman, she will be married for what reasons? Do you know? The first reason he count is money. You believe it? Muhammad himself, he told the Muslims, why you marry a woman? Read with me, please. The Prophet said, a woman will be married for four reasons. Number one, her worth. Do you see it? Do you see it? Muhammad is teaching the men how to get the right wife. So number one, you look for is her money. That's why he married Khadija. And then her lineage. What lineage mean? Do you know what lineage mean in the Middle East? In the Middle East, everything done by lineage. As an example, if I am from a powerful family, it's mean I have a wealth too. Because I can be a prime minister, I can be a leader. I am from a good lineage, not from a poor, tiny tribe who nobody count me. Lineage mean you are the son of somebody important. So the second one is about money too. The third reason is for her beauty. And the last reason for she is decent religious women. The last reason. Do you see it? Do you see it? This is the last reason to marry. No, George Clooney, he is not married to a Muslim. He is married to a Duruz. Duruz are not Muslims. Duruz have nothing to do with Islam. The Duruz, they worship a guy, his name Al-Hakim bi Amrullah Al-Fatimi. He claimed to be Allah. And he have a son. His name is Hamza Al-Bahlawan. And they have 7 exchange letters between Hamza and Al-Hakim bi Amrullah. And those letters are called the Book of Hikmah, which means the Book of Wisdom. They claim to be Muslims just to cover their ass from being killed and slaughtered. But the Duruz are not Muslims. Yeah, if you want to talk about Islam, ask me and then you will know. All right. The Duruz are not necessarily from Lebanon. The Duruz, They are, let us say, they were driven from many places, and they live in the mountains in Lebanon or in Israel for that reason, because they were treated badly. So they run to the mountains for security. Otherwise, in certain time, they were not really in the mountains. You see, when Al-Hakim bi Amrullah Al-Fatimi, during the time of the Islamic State of Al-Fatimiyin, which is considered as a Shia, Al-Hakim bi Amrullah was a crazy, sick man who believed that he is God, or let us say he is the one who presents God on earth. This is why his name is Al-Hakim bi Amrullah, which means the one who ruled by Allah. Then this guy, he started making rules, and the rules are crazy. If you read about him, he is really weird. As an example, he ordered his nation for 7 years nobody can wear shoes. The whole Egypt, nobody can wear shoes. If you wear shoes, you go to jail. This is if you are lucky, you go to jail only. For 7 years, he ordered his people nobody can light a candle at night. So by 4 p.m. the whole of Egypt is dark, and you cannot light any fire. You know, so he's a crazy as Muhammad, but he was, let us say, more crazy than Muhammad. As an example, he don't like horses in the front of him. He like naked boys. So he ordered, they order for him. He like to have sex with boys. So they bring him very beautiful boys, good looking, and they wear see-through, and his, let us say, what they call it, the bike of the king, what they call it. They are the one who drag his bike, and they are wearing see-through, so he can enjoy looking at their asses. And this guy supposedly is Allah on earth, and there is a guy, his name is Hamza, who is considered as a spiritual son for Allah, and they have letters between them, and this is what the Druze believe in. All right. Do we have any Muslim here? Any Abdul? Actually, once I sat with a guy, he was a Druze, and he, they want to play. They play Taqiyya, the same as the Shia. They are considered as a sect of like kind of a Shia, but they are not really Shia. He starts saying to me, "No, we believe in the Quran, etc." I said, "Don't give me garbage. I know everything about you, everything." And then he shut up his mouth right away. But if you speak to them, they will never say what you heard from me, never. And they remember, they don't give him the book, which is supposedly the book of wisdom, until he is over 40. The reason they say that, because you see, those guys are a mix of many religions. They say that Muhammad, he received the book of Allah when he was 40. So the Druze, they don't give their men their book unless they are over 40, and they should not share it with anyone. Anyway, do we have any Abdul? Any Abdul here? In our channel here, this is not a channel, normal channel you see in YouTube. This is a school, but it's for free. This is the only difference. You can earn a lot of education. Yes, you will not be having a certificate from me, but I guarantee you, we have nothing here to talk about except education. We are not people who sitting here for chat and rubbish talk. All right, we welcome everybody, and I advise you actually always to associate yourself with educated ones, because it doesn't matter what they say, you learn. If you associate yourself with the idiots, you are going to be an idiot. It's very important you listen to who and you talk to who. And that goes for everything in life. Even if you want to go picnic with the friends, if those friends are a bunch of idiots, they might even put you in trouble. Like I just saw in the news, a bunch of kids throwing rocks in the highway. So imagine you associate with a bunch of idiots, you end in jail. Or you take a ride with somebody, he is in drugs, and then the police stop his car and they find the drugs, and he say, "This is not mine, this is his." You are in trouble for no reason. So choose your friends wisely, my friend. Associate with people around you wisely. Don't go by something is called relatives. The only relative you have is something is relative to you, not relative to your parents. Relative to you mean somebody fit with you, qualified to be with you, and that goes even for marriage. Don't marry a woman just because she is beautiful. She might be crazy and she might destroy your life. Don't marry a man because he look handsome. He might be a scumbag. You have to be careful. You want to spend your time, even if it is 15 minutes, with who? Because life full of risk, and there's people they can affect your life badly, and you cannot fix the damage they can do to your life. So be careful. And the best way to be safe is to associate yourself with somebody wish to himself what he wished to you. If somebody start talking about harming others, being filthy to others, speaking in their back, gossip, this person, he will do exactly the same he did to others to you. Stay away from them. Those are not the one to be with them. A person, he don't respect others, he will not respect you too. A person, he is not loyal to others, he will not be loyal to you. Learn. You see, we are like a book, and the book is written, and the smart one is the one who knows how to read the pages. Don't just accept people whoever they are. Like, you know, we hear always people saying open-minded, open-minded, open stupidity. What open-minded? There's nothing called open-minded. The only way to be open-minded is to be open to stupidity. So be careful, and nothing wrong with being careful, right? Do we have any Muslim would like to call? Anyone? And you know, sometimes people, they are like some people, they have their own fantasy in life, and because they have the fantasy, so when they get involved in anything in life, they they cannot maintain their fantasy, they cannot maintain their desire, they cannot maintain what they are looking for. So then they start creating something does not exist. And like I saw a lot of people, they have a lot of problems because they cannot handle the truth and the reality around them. So be real. This is very important. Dreamer, someone is a dreamer, he's a good person, but the dreams should be real. Something can be accomplished, and the dream should be wise, because even the dream you accomplish, if it's not wise, is going to hurt you. So focus in the good dreams, good targets, associate with good ones, for good ones will bring you good. Stay away from the rubbish, from the trash, from the garbage, from the foul mouths, the one who keeps saying the F word and insulting each other. And if you say the F word, control your tongue. Saying the F word will not make you look a smart person, trust me. Because some people, they think if they say the F word, it means they became convincing. They are not convincing. Control your tongue. A wise person is the one who controls his tongue. The Messiah, he said, it's not what go inside your mouth will make you dirty, but what come out from your mouth. And if you cannot control your mouth, I mean, what you can control? Right? So we have to be, you know, when you speak with respect, you respect yourself. You are not respecting others. No. The first respect you do when you speak with respect is you respecting yourself. I'm not going to say the F word to insult you, or because I don't like to insult you. I'm not going to say it because this is an insult to me. before I insult you. Don't say it. Try, if you are having this bad habit, try to control it. Do we have anyone have a call? Anyone want to call me? As long there's no Muslims. Anyone? If you have any question about Islam, feel free to call me. I will be happy to help you, especially if you are new in our channel here and you did not learn enough. Did Muhammad promote rape? Well, the hadith we showed you about beating women is about rape. What the problem between the wife and the guy and her husband? She don't want to sleep with him, correct? Muhammad, he is forcing her to sleep with him. This is rape. The man, he did beat her because she is refusing to sleep with him. This is rape. Yeah, the woman, she is saying that this husband is not able to do it, and the man, he said, no, I'm so strong, I can satisfy her, but she don't want. She want to go back to the husband. So Muhammad, he said to her, you cannot go back to your husband, the old husband, unless you sleep with this man, and he sleep with you, and he tastes your juice, and he tastes your juice. Actually, I think we spoke about this statement just yesterday, right? Let's see. See it? Not until you taste, she tastes his juice and he tastes her juice. Muhammad, there's no question, he have a very weird mentality, and he is a very filthy. Muhammad, he said, the Messenger of Allah said, he was asked about a man who divorced his wife 3 times, and she is married to another husband. So this woman, she is divorced 3 times, and now she married to a new husband who entered upon her, but divorced her before having intercourse. So what do you think, Prophet? Muhammad, he said, no, this is not right. She is not lawful for the first husband yet, because the first husband, or the new husband, sorry, he have to taste her honey, and she have to taste the husband honey, which means he have, excuse my language, he have to cover her by his sperm in her private part and her face, everywhere, and she have to taste his honey. This is the only way for a Muslim woman to be lawful to get back to the old husband. This is a religion. This is a prophet. Who is a Muslim? He think this is a prophet talking now. Can you translate the Muslim call to the prayer? You know, the Muslims, the prayer, you know, hayya ala salat, go to pray, and that's all. I mean, you see that normal sentence, but they sing it, you know. Hayya ala salat. You know, everything that Islam, by the way, Islam is a copy. It's a, what they call it in English. If something is a copy of somebody, counterfeit, it's a counterfeit. The Christians, they do recitation long before Islam exists. The Jews, they do recitation long before Islam exists. I can show you right now a Christian Aramaic recitation. You can go read, you know, you can search in Google right now in YouTube, Aramaic Bible. Muhammad is just copying. The Quran itself was not in Arabic, the Quran was in Aramaic. So Muhammad, he was trying to make a counterfeit Bible, but because he's stupid, garbage in, garbage out. As simple as that. Like if you look at the Muslims, they pray 5 prayers a day, correct? Which is Al-Fatiha. If we go to Al-Fatiha, very short chapter, you will notice right away that from the beginning there is something wrong. If Allah is the one who's talking, have you ever heard of God? He says in the name of Allah. I mean, who are you then? Imagine I start my broadcast saying in the name of Christian Prince, people will laugh at me. So if you are saying in the name of Christian Prince, who are you? Billy Clinton? Who is the one who's talking? And then he says, the most gracious, the most merciful. It doesn't say that. Ar-Rahman is not the most gracious. Ar-Rahim is something else. Then he says, praise be to Allah. I mean, have you ever heard of Allah saying praise be to Allah? How many Allah we have? Allah saying praise be to Allah? And then he say again, the most gracious, the most merciful. Already you said that just a second ago. Isn't this the same one? Why you are repeating it again? Because he have nothing to say. He's trying to make a prayer. And then he says, thee do we worship. I mean, who is saying that? Allah is saying that we worship you? Who? Allah is saying we worship you. If the Muslim, they want to say to you this is a prayer, that will not work, because the one is saying that is Allah. Did not say pray like this. You see, when the Christian, they asked Jesus, the apostles, they said to Jesus how to pray. He said pray like that. Our Father out of heaven. You know the rest of it. This is not the same. But Muhammad is trying to make a counterfeit of our Father out of heaven. And the counterfeit, it doesn't fit. It comes stupid. And then he says, show us the straight way. I mean, who show us who? Who's talking? Every chapter in the Quran is dump as dump. Or what you need to do is just read carefully and you will see how stupid it is. Well, they memorize it because they can't understand it. You know, the challenge is, can you understand the Quran? Not the challenge is to memorize the Quran. They bring a child, he is in the age of 6, and they start beating him until he memorizes the Quran. He will memorize. Children, they memorize advertising. I remember right now, after all these years, since I was a child, I remember advertising I used to watch on TV right now. Correct? When you are a child, you remember. You memorize songs, you memorize advertising, anything. Your brain is empty. So they start forcing. I challenge somebody to memorize the Quran when he is adult. Hello?
How you doing, Prince? This is Sahih.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing good, bro. I just wanted to call and ask, not that you're asking us if we have any questions. I sent you a video. I don't know if you took a look at it at all, but it was about the different Qurans. And I mean, I don't know all their names, but one of them is Ruh, Walsh, and like 6 Hafs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to get into that at all, but from the video I was watching, actually I saw a few videos of that. It's telling me that those Qurans are different. And from what I'm hearing on the videos, that you can go to any places like in the Middle East, like in Lebanon or other places, you can go to a Quran bookstore, Islamic bookstore, and they'll have all these. And from what I'm hearing, they have, there's different words in there. They're different Qurans. There's thousands of different. They're different. To make my point.
I don't focus on those things. I'll tell you why. You see, there is many Qurans, yes, but and it's not a secret. It's very well known, and even the Muslims, they have to admit. and even the hadith confirmed that, and even Muhammad, he said Allah, he sent me the Quran in 7 letters. However, the Qurans which is discovered like in Samarkand is different from the Quran in Yemen and Sana'a, is different from the Quran which Muslims they have in Egypt, and but none of them is a Quran of Muhammad anyway. Same time, I prefer not to waste my time speaking about the differences of the Quran unless I want to prove to the Muslims that the Quran is not what they think. But in order to do that, it's better to show them from the Quran itself that the Quran is not the Quran, because a Muslim, he can say to you, I don't accept the Quran of Warsh. I cannot accept the Quran of Hafs. They can play the game. The Shia, they will say we are waiting for the Quran of Fatima. So I don't go for this topic, because why I want to waste my topic if the Muslims they have a Quran. All what I need to do is just ask the Muslim, okay, what is the Quran you like, and then let me get you busted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Don't waste your time. I mean, because if you say there is a 1 billion Quran, and at the end of the day I will say to you, I believe in that one, this is my, okay, then this is the one you believe in, let us show you how stupid it is. So it's better to focus in the stupidity of the Quran which the Muslims they have between their hands, whoever the Muslims and whatever the Quran they have in their hands, better than wasting the time. And I'm not saying it's waste of time to prove that those things is changed, but for me,
because that's one of the main things they claim all the time.
No, they can, yeah, but they cannot. You see, all of us, we knew that even the Muslims.
All the Quran's the same.
Yeah,
all the Quran's the same.
You see,
you go English, you know.
Yeah, but no. Ask the Muslim. Do you have the Quran of Uthman? He don't. They don't have Quran of Uthman. Okay, do you have the Quran of Muhammad? They don't. So what do you have? They have recitation of recitation of recitation of recitation of recitation, and after all the recitation, we have the recitation of Hafs. And in their books it says Hafs was a kadhab, Hafs was a liar, and he was a fraud. So even the Quran they have in their hands show them that Hafs himself is not allowed to be a witness in the court of Islam, for he is a liar and he was a fraud. He used to steal books. So the Muslims they have, or the majority, because this is what the Saudi they print with their money, they have the Quran of Hafs. Hafs, he learned Quran from his father, but his father Asim, or stepfather, he was a fraud too. So now we have a fraud learning Quran from a fraud. So the Muslims they have a Quran which is given to them from a fraud. They don't have the Quran of Uthman.
Okay, so one other question I have about that, you know, I guess the Quran at the time, or a little bit at the time of Muhammad and soon after that, didn't have the vowels. Now I'm hearing different things, like they say that it doesn't change what it means, or it enhances what it means and doesn't change it.
Oh, change it.
You know what I mean?
Change,
like it changes it, or it doesn't change it.
Oh, change, big deal. Because you see, like if we go right now in Arabic, for the Quran in Arabic here, okay. So if I have no dots, the word bism can be nasm. The word Allah, it can be Allat. word Ar-Rahman, it can be Ar-Rahman. It can be Ar-Rajim. You see Ar-Rajim as an example. Let me show you here. This is I will use a pen which might make it.
You know what, CP? I can't watch because I'm doing it on my phone.
Okay,
so
go now. Go. I will show you. Okay, hang up. Let me show you.
Okay, bro. Thanks.
All right. This is the word Ar-Rahim as an example in front of us. I will put a line underneath of it. This is Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahim, the Muslim they translate it as the merciful. Okay. I will write the same word. I will use my mouse, so the writing will not be too much nice, but it's okay. Al Ra Ha, and then here the Rahim supposedly. But instead of having the Rahim as this, I will just add one dot. This is the dot for the Ya, and this is a dot for the Jim. That make it a Rajim. Do you know what the Rajim mean? The Rajim is the filthy, cursed one. I just added a dot. Let me make the dot I added a red, so you can see what the difference is. This dot. Here there's no dot. If we add the dot, the word Ar-Rahim will become Rajim, and this is upside down of the meaning. So how I will know that this is a Rajim or a Rahim? Another example. This is the word Rabb. The word Rabb, I'm going to write it here in the side. Rabb, it is just 2 letters. Rabb have a dot under the letter Ba. If I add a dot in the top here, that will make it penis. Rabb mean God. By adding the dot here, that will make it a penis. From God to penis. I'm just showing you random things. So imagine I say Alhamdulillah, the penis of the world. But it doesn't say that. It says Alhamdulillah, the Lord of the world. But by adding a dot here, I make it a penis. And that can goes to everything in the Quran. Same time, why Muhammad did not get inspiration from his God to fix the Arabic and add the vowels, and which make it more confusing, especially we are talking about recitation, because recitation, even the Muslims, they admit that there is many accent of recitation. The people of Yemen, they say things differently from the people of Mecca or Quraysh or etc. So everybody have his own ways to say things. This is why, as an example, if we ask a Muslim, I'm just picking up random words. I'm not really picking up things. I mean, anything, just anything come to my mind. Let us see. Any word in front of you, change any Muslim. He can call me right now, and I can change the meaning immediately just by changing the dots. Anything. All right. Here, as an example, لو أردنا أن نتخذ لهوا لاتخذناه. Here we will not add any dots. I will not add any dots. If you ask any Muslim right now who live in Saudi Arabia, what lahu mean? He will say fun. So what do you mean Allah? He says you want to take fun. It doesn't make sense. If Allah want to take fun, we will take fun from ourselves. I mean, what does that mean? If you translate, if it had been our wish to take a pastime, we should surely have taken it from among those things nearest to us. The translation is stupid, doesn't mean anything. What pastime? Because he's stupid. He don't know what the word lahu mean. Lahu is a word mean women. Women. Muhammad is copying it from other languages, and he is putting it in the Quran. But in the Arabic today, the word lahu it's a word mean fun. So this guy translated as pastime. What do you mean Allah want to take pastime? What, Allah will play football with himself? What exactly the pastime is? What the Quran is speaking of, that if we want to take a girlfriend, a woman to sleep with, we will take it from our kind, ourself. And later we go to the interpretation and we will find that Allah is speaking that if you want to have sex, he will have sex with the black-eyed women. Now who are the black-eyed women? The Hurul Ain. This is, you know, the Muslims, obviously they, because of their stupidity, they don't know what Hurul Ain is. You see, Hurul Ain is something coming from the Zoroastrian language about special creatures who live in heaven, and those women, they are super beautiful, and they will be subdued to you, and they will be they are there just to entertain you. They are the reception of the heaven. All right. So Muhammad, he learned from Salman al-Farisi the word hur. He put it on the Quran, and then the Muslim, they start giving explanation about hur. What are hur? Huru Ain, their eyes is black, their eyes, what the black? What are you talking about? There's nothing about that. But they start saying those things. You know, the word hur, it was about women who are so beautiful because they are not exposed to anything except being spoiled. You see, if a woman, she never saw the sun because she is spoiled, imagine a woman, she go out, there is somebody holding an umbrella for her. If a woman, she go right away, she take a taxi, she never walk in the street, she never go in the beach, she is always in her room. This is why the Quran says qasiratun, they are jailed in their rooms. But because the Muslims are reading different language which is not Arabic, they could not understand. Now Sahih Christian, he speak Aramaic, so he can understand the Quran better than the Muslims. Look what the Quran said. وعندهم قاصرات الطرف عين وعندهم قاصرات الطرف أتراب فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهن ولا جان. This is all about قاصرات. What قاصرات mean? Translation: they are restrained. So why they are hur? Why they are hur? Why they are so white? Because they are jailed in their tents. They are jailed, they don't go out. So even though the Muslims now, they are after 1400 years trying to explain the Quran, every Muslim scholar, he give you different interpretation for the verse. This is why you see the Muslim, when they give interpretation for the Quran, they say the scholars agree about not to agree about what the verse mean. This is the only agreement they have. We agree about not to agree. And this is why I say Islam is a stupid religion, because any simple verse in the Quran is a confusing for a very simple reason. The Quran was not an Arabic book. So we agree about not to agree what the verse mean. Can you find me a Muslim he agree with the Muslim about the verse meaning? If you ask Zakir Naik what hur mean, he will say to you, hur, brother, hur, it doesn't mean, it's a plural name, it's not a male or a female. So the Muslim woman, she will have hur too. This stupid idiot. The Quran says that there's no man touched them and no man made them bleed. The word tamath, you see here it says فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان. There's no man or genie did have sex with them, and because they are virgins, لم يطمثهن, which mean he did not make them bleed from sex yet. The stupid Abdul Zakir Naik, because he is just an aftermarket self-proclaimed scholar, he said that this is not about women or male or female. Hur is for both. But if it's for both, that's mean that those men, they are going to be bleeding from sex. And look how the Muslim translate this verse. They will never say the word bleeding. They will say they are virgins, that's all. But doesn't say that. It means it's they are virgins, yes, but doesn't say they are virgins. It says nobody made them bleed. Nobody. Not by genie. Look at the first translation. Therein those are modest gas. What gas? What are they talking about? Whom neither a man nor genie have touched them before. What touched them before? It says there clearly in Arabic, lam yatmuthahun. No man made them bleed. Actually, in different hadith, yes, Muhammad, he said that a Muslim man will have sex with men too. If you remember, when he said in the heaven, there is a market, and this market have no buying nor selling except pictures of men and women. Do you remember? So yes, you will have sex with men in the heaven, but based in the Quran, Zakir Naik is being a stupid idiot liar. But you see, Islam is about like you know, as long you are defending Islam, it doesn't matter how much you lie. You will not find a Muslim he oppose a liar defending Islam. As long he is doing his best to defend, it's okay to lie. But if a different person who said something, because you know that Zakir Naik is very well known that he is trying to promote Islam. This is why none of the Arabian sheikhs he will say to Zakir Naik, you are being an idiot. They will not do that. You will see 10,000 people, they are watching him, and none of them says to him, where you get this from? So the language of the Quran is a big topic, and because most of the people who listen to us in YouTube, they don't speak Arabic anyway, you know, I try to avoid it. But I am speaking like now they promised me they will bring me a sheikh from Hezbollah. All right, sheikh, big sheikh from Lebanon. He's the leader of Hezbollah. I hope he's not Hassan Nasrallah. Otherwise he will send somebody, people to kill me. So if this guy he spoke about the Arabic language in the debate, then I will get him busted. If he mentioned the Arabic language, if he say his Quran is amazing Arabic, blah blah blah, then I will get him busted with no mercy, because he speak Arabic, I speak Arabic. He claimed to be a big sheikh, so he have no excuse to say I know not. But speaking with with people who don't speak Arabic about Arabic, it will not make too much different. You know what I mean? You went from Christian to. Don't delete her. Don't delete her choice. Let me see what this Lisa she is trying to say. Lisa Khan, she is a Muslim. Give the Muslims freedom. How are you, Lisa? What do you want to say to me? Lisa, she is trying to say something for us. Lisa Khan, how are you? Do you want to call me Lisa? Do you have something in your heart you want to tell me? I mean, your name is Khan and you call yourself Lisa. It doesn't make sense. What happened to you? So what do you want to say to me? Tell me. What's your problem? Are you a Muslim? She is convert, married to a Pakistan. You see, look what she said. Let her, don't delete his dawah. She said Paul he corrupt the Bible, right? This is because Muslims are stupid. The Quran says Paul is a messenger of Allah. As I said, Muslims are dumb and they are copy paste. They are copy paste. They have no idea what they are talking about. If I show you right now from the Quran that Paul is a messenger of Allah, what you will do? Are you going to do belly dancing for us the same you do it to the Pakistani boy? It's in front of you. Chapter 36, verse number 14. We can go right now to the interpretation of your scholars. As an example, Ibn Kathir. Hold on. Let me go to Ibn Kathir. You can, you know, after I show it to you, I hope you will do practice your right as a Muslim and you do belly dancing for us. Because you are calling us names and you are an idiot. You do not know your religion. Chapter 36, verse number 14, and this is Ibn Kathir. Watch with me, please. All right. All right. 36. Hold on. Not sure why 14 is not appearing. Let us see here. Did I choose? Oh, this is the wrong tafsir. This is why. Hold on, hold on. All right, we go back. All right, this is Ibn Kathir. We go to chapter 36. And you will see it right in the front of your eyes. This is how dumb the Muslims when they attack Paul. And you know the question for the Muslims, I mean, who is the stupid here, you or your prophet? Because how come your prophet never said Paul did that? You Muslims, you know more than your prophet? Obviously, he's a scumbag, stupid, you do not know. So you Muslims today, you are more educated. Look what the Quran said. That those are messengers of the Messiah. Those are messenger of Messiah, and that verse will make Jesus God, because those are sent by the Messiah. Their name, read with me, Lisa. You can do belly dancing later. Stop shaking. It says, those are the first two messengers. They were Shamun. Shamun in Arabic means Simon, and Yohanna, which means John. And the third one was Bulos. This is the name of Paul in Arabic. Bulos. It's in front of you. And they were sent to the city of Antakya. Do you see it? So you stupid Muslims, you keep saying Paul corrupt the Bible, Paul corrupt the Bible, but the Quran and the books of the Islamic scholars says Paul was a messenger of Allah, and specifically he is a messenger of the Messiah. Now who is the dump? You Muslims are a bunch of dumb people, stupid like your prophet. Who's next? Do we have any other Lisa in the stage? Or this is the only belly dancer we have? Huh? Don't change topic, Lisa the dancer. A second ago you were talking about Paul. Now you are, look, tell me why then all the Christians go against the teaching of Jesus. Why? Do we marry more than one wife like your prophet taught us? As long you want us to follow the teaching of Jesus. Why you follow a scumbag? He said that your husband, he can marry 4 of you. Why you marry a man, he can beat you? Did Jesus says beat your wife? Why you marry a man, he believe he can marry children and have sex with 6-year-old girl? Is that the teaching of Jesus, that when I go to heaven Allah will make my penis endless? Or this is the teaching of the scumbag Muhammad? Yes, Muslim do. Muslim do. Don't Muhammad, he did. Muhammad did. Why Muslim would not do? Are you saying Muhammad was a bad Muslim? Did Muhammad marry children? Yeah, she might be a guy, but all of them, they like to be Lisa. They have a high percentage of homosexuality. Do we have any brave Muslim here have the courage to call us? So when Muslim they say to you Paul was a corrupt person, shut them up. This is the Islamic book saying Paul was a messenger of God. Stupid idiot Muslims who have no idea what is written in their books. Who's next? Who is the next Muslim? Who is the next Lisa? Lisa, I did not ask you if you are a whore or not, but I know who you are. A Muslim woman who accept to sleep with a man who have 4 women, she is the whore. There's no woman she have honor, especially in the world today. She accept that her husband he can have 3 more women in the same time with her, unless she is a whore. Ladies, any one of you accept your husband to have 3 other women with her? Do you think a woman she have honor, she will accept that her husband he consider her the same as a goat, so he's allowed to have up to 4 goats? Only filthy women they will accept that. A woman she have dignity, it's an insult for her that her husband is sleeping with her and is sleeping with the 3 more women, and not only that, he have unlimited numbers of slaves he can sleep with, and not only that, he can replace those 4 women by one word, divorce. And he can go right away to muhallil or any nukah department, and he can get a brand new 4 consort for sex. Islam is religion of adultery and sex. That is Islam. And you know, one of the funny things the Muslims they say to us that the word nukah mean marriage. Let me show you what the word nukah mean. Hold on. Let me open their website. I save it somewhere, but I will try to find it. Nukah. What nukah mean? They say to us nukah mean marriage. Are you sure? Nukah mean marriage. You're right. Okay. Let me show you what the word nukah mean from their Islamic website. Nikah. Let us see. Here we go. We found it. That's good. Let us open the screen for you. I turn the screen off so that you don't guys get blind with me flipping pages. This is al-islam.org. This is al-islam.org. When the Muslims they say that in the Quran speak about nukah, we ask them what nukah mean. They say nukah mean or nikah mean marriage. Is that true? Absolutely false. The word nikah mean literally sexual intercourse. Literally. And this is the Muslim website in front of you, and we will show it to you. You can read. I'm going slowly in the page, and then we will see what the word nikah mean. Marriage enhances the value of a prayer. All right, let us see how it enhances the marriage. Increase the sentence. Okay, well, no problem. So all of this is about marriage, but they say to us that nikah is not marriage. So if we go up in the top, you will see it says the following. Let us go up. Where is the nikah? All right. Okay. Here we go. The Islamic form of marriage. Nikah. Read with me. Nikah literally mean sexual intercourse. There's no marriage in Islam. When they say nikah, they are talking about you effing her. That is the truth. It's a contract of effing. The man, he hire a woman to eff her, and he pay her wages, and this is what the Quran says. And again, this is your official Islamic website. Nikah literally mean sexual intercourse, nothing to do with marriage. So what the Quran says, wankahu, and do nikah to 2 and 3 and 4. And if you cannot afford it, 1. If you cannot what? Afford it. The Muslim, they will say, if you cannot be just in what? Money. Because you cannot be just in kissing and touching and loving. No. No, I'm not using the F word. I'm not using the F word. This is for the sake of education. I'm just saying what it is. I didn't use the F word. I'm not using it. There's a huge difference between you say the F word just to to insult somebody or to be stupid, and to say the word as it is. This is what the word mean. The word nikah mean F. So what I can do? I make it change the meaning, make it for you flower. I will change the word for you meaning. Here we go. I will call it salad. So go and do salat to 2 women and 3 women and 4 women. Are you happy now? All right. What I can do? This is what the word is saying. It says go on F. Can I make it something else? You know what we can do? It's a stupid religion, filthy religion. And then they speak about, nobody speak about honor and dignity as much as the Muslims, but they are the last one to speak about it. A woman who have dignity will not accept to be one of 4. She will not. A woman who have dignity, she will not accept that a man, when we sleep with her, he pay her. What do you mean you pay her? The Muslim, they will say to you that in the Old Testament, if a man he rape a woman, they force him to marry her and to pay her dowry. But this is not payment because he did rape her. He have to marry her and he cannot divorce her, otherwise he will be killed. And the money is because they force him to buy the furniture for the house, not to her. The Jewish woman, she go and she buy her furniture. She buy it. She provide the furniture for the house because this is her furniture. And if he did not marry the women, he will be killed. What is the punishment of rape in Islam? You see, the Quran have chapters about the ant speaking to Sulaiman, or speaking to her friends, and Sulaiman was amused by her speech. Flying carpet, the legs of Sheba, etc. Tons of stupid stories, but not even one verse in the Quran is speaking about the punishment of rape. Do we have any Muslim would like to call us? Any Muslim? All right, guys, I think we have done for today. Don't forget, please, to subscribe and share the video with your friends and educate your children's and your relatives and your friends, because education is priceless. The only problems we have, especially in the West, that most of the Western, they have no idea what Islam is about. And not only the Western, I spoke to people from Malaysia, I spoke to people from Asia, from Philippines, from people, they have no idea what Islam is about. And the media is really deceiving you. You see, the Muslim, they complain, they say the media is against Islam. This is a big fat lie. The media is always was promoting Islam. Actors, go and see how many videos the actors they did to promote Islam, even though they are not Muslims, because they are a scumbag. Presidents, prime ministers, Obama, day and night, Islam mean peace. George Bush, Islam is a great religion. Tony Blair, all one after one. What they say to you is nothing but being politically correct. They are a bunch of liars, and they never told you the truth. The truth is totally different from what you heard. And you want to learn? Subscribe to our channel, invite your friends, and if you like to invite me to your church, feel free. And I do it for free, which means I go to your church for free. I'm not doing a business. This is for me a blessing and a mission. So if you like me to come to your church, speak to your church, I will be happy to be there, even if it is in the end of the world. Starting from the coming year, I have many seminars to do, actually even before, and I will see if I can do. There's one of them is going to be here in the state before I leave the country, so I will see if we can share it with you. If not, I mean live. If not, maybe after we do the seminar I can post at least the recording of it. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. May the Lord bless you, and as always we say, Christ is Lord and Islam is false. I mean to that, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.